Now went ahead and print a few information on this circuit. So that's the fuse we're looking at, 211. That's our blow fuse, and that's relay number 2 is the one we were dealing with, and relay number 2 is according to this wiring diagram, it's a windscreen wiper motor relay, but that's wrong. Obviously this information is wrong, so we're dealing with ignition auxiliary circuit relay, so that is wrong. So this is an ignition auxiliary circuit relay. I verified that because yeah, obviously that's the location is wrong, should be 1 here. But anyway, moving forward, we have another wiring diagram here. Now in Australia we are located, we don't have a good wiring diagram information provider here, so we usually just rely on whatever we have, like such as Autodata or a few other things we can subscribe to, and a lot of the time we just got to look on the internet for a wiring diagram and all that. So unfortunately I could find a wiring diagram, but I could not find the one with the dual AC, which has rear AC as well. They only give me the front AC wiring diagram. So what I did is I went and printed out the power distribution circuit. And I found that fuse F211, which if you follow my finger here, which goes, it feeds a few other fuses here, F215, F213, and I verified all the fuses. They all doesn't have power coming in. So obviously we know the relay is not turning on, so obviously we're not going to have power. So if you follow that wire, it goes down up this to this relay, and this is the relay we're talking about, the ignition auxiliary relay. Now on this relay we know we have power coming in on this main circuit, and we know this side of the leg is going to the fuse, and we verified that wiring and up to the fuse, so we know this circuit is good. We got power coming in on that circuit on the main feed on pin 3. We got a good power coming in into our pin 1 for the switching part of the relay on the left hand side where my finger is pointing at. So this goes up to the fuse. This goes up to the fuse. It could be this, yeah, I think it goes to the engine control relay, and that feeds engine control relay up here, and that feeds the power on that one leg of the switching side of the relay. Now on the other side where we saw bad earth, pin 2, there's nothing there, and I don't know where it goes, right? So I did few more research. I couldn't find any information where that leg go to, what turns that relay on or off. And within the same Autodata program, I sort of went on to looking at other wiring diagrams where it shares the same relay, and none of them had that information where that earth come from to that relay. And one diagram, I think it was a heated window or something like that, a circuit diagram, had a same relay sending power to. I think it's one of these fuse we were talking about before, the fuse that this relay supply power to. Had sort of like a pin 85, and that went to straight to computer, ECU. That sort of made me sort of believe maybe this actually comes from the computer itself, ECU itself. So I made a little note for myself here. So pin 85 on that relay up there for ignition auxiliary relay comes from the ECU on pin 6, and it's a brown color wire. Sorry, I had to do this. I couldn't show you the proper wire now because I don't have myself, and I'm not even sure if this information what I gathered from my research is true or not, but we're gonna find out. We at the front of the car. Now the computer is located inside the dash, but the pins, you can get to it from underneath here. Now, I don't know how I'm gonna show it to you guys. I'll try. Let's just fix this camera so I can show you guys. Very difficult, I think. Let's see. Down in there, that's your computer plug there, and starting from the top row, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going all the way this way. So on pin 6, according to the diagram, it says brown, but looking at it, it's not brown, it's yellow with the black trace wire for some reason. Let me set up this camera for you guys so we can see better here. Right there, according to this diagram here, right, I'm looking at the pin number 1. Alright, I'm looking at this pin number 1, that is yellow with the black trace. Pin 2 is blue with the black. Yeah, pin 3 is white, pin 4 is white, pin 5 is white with the red trace, and pin 6, that's the wire we're focusing on. So yellow with the red, even if the diagram said brown, I think the diagram is wrong, so we're just gonna use that wire and see if that's the circuit we after. So I just put a little needle probe there so I can get a connection. Now I have my battery test light on the battery positive. I'm just gonna go and turn the ignition on. My test light connected to battery, ignition is on. Now we're just going to touch that pin with our test light and see if this lights up, this test light. Now if you can see my test light, it's not lighting up at all. Okay, that's just your fuel pump turning on. Don't just disregard that noise. Yep, we got no earth coming out of that pin there. So now to verify our circuit, let's put earth in that wire. I guess before we do that, just in case we got the wrong pin, let's just confirm that we're not gonna damage this engine computer by putting earth. So we don't damage this engine computer, let's verify we actually got the right wiring here, right wire. We don't want to damage this computer by putting earth onto the power circuit, so let's just verify that. So I'm just gonna quickly get my test light on the ground somewhere in the engine block here, and then we'll see we don't have any power on that wire. So yep, we got nothing in there. Just make sure we got the proper. I'll just verify my earth. Yep, my earth is good. I'll just check to see if there's anything coming out of that. There's nothing coming out there, so I think I will be safe to put earth in that wire just to verify our wiring. So I'm just gonna go get a jumper wire. Alright, I just got a jumper wire. I'm just gonna connect this alligator clip to the earth, and then I'm gonna just feed earth into that wire. So just on the engine block, and we're gonna just put this, feed this earth into that wire. Right, and let's go inside and see what we got here. Alright. We're inside the car again on that fuse box. And we're just going to focus on that relay again, right there. Now if we think we got the earth supplied into the right wire, we should see earth on that pin where we suspect there was bad earth. Now with my power probe, it's showing me it's a earth, yes, but we have to verify that with the test light too. So let me go and grab my test light. Okay. Alright, I've got my test light again. Now this is just a, like I said earlier, old school incandescent bulb type test light. I always use this type of test light to verify power and earth. Alright, now we're gonna supply one end with the power, with my power probe. And let's see, this time we got this. Yep, there you go. I'm just supplying power, and we're checking on the same pin where we had the bad earth, and test light lights up. Now that, let's do, just to double check, I know it's gonna work, but just to double check, let's put this relay back in and see if we can hear some clicking. There you go, you can hear that click. There you go. Now we know the relay is working. Now let's see if the fan works. Now on the fuse here, where we didn't have power before, let's verify that. Now we got the relay working, and yes, we have power on that fuse on both sides, so we know the fuse is good. So we got power to the fuse. Alright, let's turn this fan on for the rear. Up here there's a switch. Sorry guys, my flash just died, the battery's low on the camera. And let's go and verify if the fan's working at the back. go, you can hear it. Fan's working. Alright guys, so that's basically the diagnosis for this blower fan on transit van. Basically the computer is not supplying a good earth on that wire, so it needs a new computer to really fix it properly. But I mean, we can do some other dodgy stuff like trying to somehow get steal earth from the other wire, other circuit, or put a relay, something like that. We can do other things, but that's how you diagnose fan not working on a transit. Thank you guys for watching.